son is 11. I think he's 11.
Is he your son?
Is he your son?
Hold on. He's 11 or 12. He's in that bracket. And his expectation is he buys something online. If it's not there tomorrow, he's annoyed.
Yeah.
It's the angst in his face when he buys a new game on the PlayStation Network and he has to wait 20 minutes for it to download. That is painful to him. It's a different level of expectation.
It's instant gratification, which was the terminology that was used at Members' Day last
And I
week.
think
That's
that will
great
come
terminology.
And you're talking about generational shifts. We've all seen a huge amount of change in our time in the industry. Tinterweb didn't exist when I started out. I didn't even have a mobile phone, which was a great thing.
You had hair.
Fantastic that was.
I had hair.
And I think that kind of rounds up the point in that there are a lot of merchants who are very clear that they need to develop and that there are opportunities if they do so and are definitely doing that. There are also an awful lot who are still in the mindset that they are dealing with tradespeople and therefore they don't need to offer the kind of service that is traditionally considered retail.
And they might be right. And if they're wrong, there'll be another dustbin, another name in the dustbin of history.
I think they're okay now because the trade isn't moving that fast.
Yeah.
I would question that, actually. I think we've just done a piece of work on what installers, hard landscaping installers, not everybody, but the perception was that they were sort of technology averse and they preferred to have a face-to-face chat and so on. In fact, something like 2/3 of them were actually operating completely off their smartphones, and they preferred the speed, the convenience, and the rest of it. And that was a bit of a surprise. But other work we've done also indicates that people are actually, I can't remember, I think it was John who said it's not just an age thing, but I think some people just switch on to the convenience. And so certainly we see that it's not universal, but it is actually happening quite fast, quite suddenly. And I think that affects us all.
Yes, and certainly even if it doesn't affect us now, I think it's something that as businesses we all have to start thinking about now so that we're ready for tomorrow. Because a lot of these things you can't implement overnight. And suddenly you're going to wake up one morning and find that actually it's here. And if you haven't been preparing for the previous 18 months, 2 years, you're already behind the curve. But the challenge with a lot of these things is figuring out which curve you need to be at. Because there's often an awful lot of different things you can do. And I don't think any business can do all of them, so you pick the ones that work for your customers. But that's sometimes an easier guess than others.
You've got to be prepared you're going to get some of it wrong.
Yes. Absolutely. Okay. It's almost 1 o'clock.
Just going to finish though, strategically though, it shouldn't be a threat to manufacturers. I think manufacturers should manufacture and distributors should distribute.
Yeah.
And provided two people understand that, people make money, generally. And that's why house builders trying to be manufacturers and that's successful at the moment. Once you come off your core strategy, I think it's always risky. So I think there's still loads of opportunity in terms of the routes to market through the distribution channels, whether that be specialists or generalists. And I think the manufacturers and the distributors are going to work it out.
Glad to hear that.
I think that sounds like quite a positive way to end, actually.